What did they say to you?
Some threatening stuff to my life. So, you know, I was this close to really going back and like diving all the way in, but kind of just went back and told the official. And when I told the official what he said, he's like, "Oh, he gotta get out of here. And he gotta get out of here."
Do you like that? I guess, you know, I know you got fined a couple weeks ago when you said something to the fan. Do you like that that's kind of an option to you, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I can't necessarily say that that hasn't been an option. That's kind of been an option, but I think, you know, there are times where you're just in the moment, you know, and you respond. And so, you know, that's been an option. That wasn't like, oh, I just found out that was an option once I got fined. Like, that's been there. The league has made that clear to us for years that that's been there. But like I said, we are human beings, and there are times where you just respond, you know, and try to learn from the mistakes. But, you know, like I said, there's still that human side, that human element to it. That, you know, sometimes you're just going to respond, and that's just it.
Vinny Goodwill is here. What's up, Vinny? Good to see you, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Michael Holley. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. And I am in that space, Vinny. I don't know about you. I'm in that space where I understand where Draymond Green is coming from. Sometimes, you know, Draymond says some things. I'm like, I don't know about that. Or he does some things like with Jordan Poole earlier this year. I said, I don't know about that, Draymond. I wouldn't have taken that option, even though sometimes you just respond. You can take that a lot of ways. But, you know, Vinny, I feel like maybe from where we sit, it's an unusual position. Because I'll tell you about one of the arguments. One of the arguments I had years ago. I never forgot it.
Okay.
Because I had to really explain to somebody, and a lot of people really don't understand what it is that we do. I'm not saying it is so inexplicable. No man, no woman can explain what it means to be a sports journalist working in the sports industry. But a lot of people don't get it, that it's a job. It is a job.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember a guy saying to me a while ago, hey, you know, you go to the arena all the time. You go to the stadium all the time. When's the last time you paid to go to the stadium? And I said, hey, man, when's the last time you paid to go to work? It's like, man, hey, it's a job, man. Like, yeah, we're seeing some of the greatest athletes in the world. But it's not like we're sitting there with our Pistons, Celtics jerseys on, hats turned around, and cheering. And then after the game, oh, I guess I better go into the locker room. No, you can't do that. This is a profession if you're going to do it the right way. There's some people who do that, and shame on them. But
yes, it is.
People who are trying to do it the right way are really invested in it. But the point is, we have maybe gotten to the point, some of us in sports journalism gotten to the point of forgetting what it's like to go to an arena and to sit around a bunch of people who ain't thinking about what the lead is, what kind of question they're going to ask. They're just sitting there, they're drinking, they're having a good time, and if somebody takes it too far. And I think that's where we are right now. And not just the NBA, it's everywhere. You get a crowd of people together, Vinny, and 95% of them, right, 95% of them are having a good time. They're having a good time. Like, you have people around, you know, talking a little bit of trash, but in a good spirit, but talking trash. Then somebody comes in and be like, oh, what? What'd you just say? Where is that coming from? So I'm sure there are people in Milwaukee last night going to Draymond. Hey, Draymond, you can't shoot. Oh, Draymond, you lucky. Steph is on your team. And then somebody's like, I will drink your blood and take your family. Yo, man. We were just talking about basketball.
A little different.
What the hell?
Here's the other part of it. Milwaukee is the hometown of Jordan Poole.
Ooh, okay. That's a twist. That's a twist. I wonder if that kind of set the atmosphere for it. But I don't know. You tell me. My position is, this sounds very defeatist. My position is that there is no law, no amendment, no legislation, no tweak, no rule that the NBA or anybody else can implement that will change this situation. This is about the human condition. This is always going to happen. It's just a matter of what the NBA is going to do. You got to think ahead. All right, when it happens, not if, when it happens, how will we respond as a league? Is that too defeated? Am I being too negative on that?
No, you are looking at the Twitter world that we operate in. We operate in a world of tweets. And all of a sudden, before you could yell from a reasonable distance, right? And nobody would see you. You could yell at your favorite athlete or your most hated athlete and say whatever you had to say with a comfortable distance. Then Twitter came. And then you could actually at the person. And there's a chance that they might see it. Most times they don't, but there's a chance they can see it. So then you do that and other people see it. And they jump on and say, yeah, that's whatever, mob mentality, right? There's no greater mob than a mob inside of a sports arena where it is 20,000 people ganging up against 15 and 4 or 5 coaches, or in the NBA now, 15 coaches.
Now, I was going to say, you need that second and third row for the coaches now, right? Who's that? Oh, coach.
So no greater incentive, no greater accelerant, right? No greater alcohol than to be gassed up by everybody around you and to feel like you can say whatever the hell you want to say. The NBA's biggest advantage is selling proximity, right? Proximity to the players, proximity to the event, proximity to the entire league as a whole. They're not in the ivory tower like the NFL. And they're not so far away like Major League Baseball that, baseball doesn't understand exactly what's going on. They're stuck in 1955. So that is part of the give and take. Like I will give you, that's true, earlier than that. Yeah, 1955. That might be a little too progressive for Major League Baseball. We can go into story time with Vinny. You want to go into story time with Vinny?
Let's do it. Oh, hey, listen, you know what? Hey, I love story time with Vinny. Come on now. I got a little something to sip on here. Here we go. You got something to sip on? Let's product placement. Ha.
There we go.
Anyway,
we go.
Let's go.
This is not the love doctor, right? Normally the love doctor gives great advice and about bad wedding songs and how you use relationship conduct. This is not that. This was Vinny. This was Vinny in Memphis in 2010. My first year on the Pistons beat. I'm still 25 years old, wet behind the ears, barely had a mustache, about 20 pounds of lighter, maybe a little bit more, right?
All right, hey, listen.
So there's this fan.
You were underweight. You were underweight then. You were underweight. That's the only problem. Yeah, it was more pounds, but you hadn't eaten enough, Vinny. You hadn't eaten enough.
No, genetics hadn't kicked in. That's all. That's all that was. Those genetics hadn't kicked in. So me, as a Pistons writer for the Detroit News, we used to sit courtside at games. Now we don't sit courtside as much. They've sold those seats, right? So we're sitting courtside, damn straight. So there's a fan, Michael, and he had on overalls and nothing else. Just overalls. Okay?
Okay.
Just some dingy, denim, nasty ass overalls. Okay? He's heckling the Pistons. It's second quarter of the game. He's heckling the Pistons. You suck, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, this guy's a little extra. It wasn't a full house. It wasn't the grindhouse that you see now in Memphis. It was, just a dude, right? And once, I almost lost my job because of this. I came close to, being ready to lose my job, rather. He goes from calling the Pistons players, you suck and everything else, Michael Holley, and then he said the magic word. He called one of the players boy.
Okay.
And something triggered inside of 25-year-old me. I turned around. I looked at the guy. I said, and now this guy is, big dude in overalls, right? Every
overalls.
stereotypical, yes, overalls, and nothing
in
under.
Memphis.
In Memphis.
Okay.
In Memphis. He was more Tennessee than Memphis. Does that make sense?
First of all, how do you get into the game? Don't they have those, like, if you go in the store, no shirts, no shoes, no service? Like, how you just let anybody in the game? You're like, hey, you got anything else? I know we usually don't let bags in the arena, but do you have a bag with your shirt in there? You got any drawers on?
I mean, he had on overalls, so technically he was covered, right?
Oh, I guess so. And then the funk are just out exposed. Okay, anyway, go ahead. I'm just getting distracted. Go ahead.
He looked like Pigpen with overalls, right?
Yeah, I bet he did.
So I turned around to the guy, and he probably had me at that point by a good 100 pounds, at least, right? He was a big dude, but me and my hood spidey senses, I turned around to the guy and I said, "Not another word." And he actually sat down.
From press row.
From press row. Like the word boy just triggered me. And it wasn't me trying to defend players or anything like that. It was literally me just being triggered. And thank goodness for the writer next to me, Vince Ellis for the Detroit Free Press at the time. He literally grabbed my shoulder and said, "Don't do it." And that's what I just said. Not another word. So, yeah, we know that fans jump way out of pocket. This is before Twitter. This is just a dude who's drunk in some damn overalls.
I love that. So he didn't say anything else? Nothing else?
Nothing.
See,
nothing else.
And that is my favorite part about that story. I love all the imagery. It's like a short film. I can see it all. The guy in the overalls got the whole thing. I can see him. I can see young Vinny Goodwill, young underweight Vinny Goodwill for the Detroit News, working for something called a newspaper. See, boys and girls, there's something called a newspaper. And in a newspaper, never mind, another day.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. There's something called a fold, and the story placement above the fold is a big thing. And then A1, and then B1, and C1. Anyway, but I can see the whole thing. But my favorite part of the story is that the guy stopped. Because most of the time, they won't. I don't know, maybe he didn't understand that you really had no authority to stop him. Maybe he thought you were working for the team. You're there with the laptop and all that stuff. But I think a lot of people won't stop now because, as Draymond said, he continued to say, hey, what did they get out of it? They get a rise out of it. Okay, get kicked out of an arena. And it's a big thing now. In arenas and stadiums, they say this. And do they follow up? We don't check. We're not doing our job. We're not following up. We say, this person has been banned.
Banned.
Forever. They've been banned forever from Ford Field. They've been banned forever from...
Forever.
Yeah, ever. The Boston Garden
You can ban me from Ford Field.
I knew that. I knew that was coming when I said it. But are we following up? How do you ban a fan lifetime? How do you do that? Is it you have facial recognition software when they come up? What if they have on, if they usually, the guy with overalls be like, no, I'm going to change my game up. I'm not wearing those overalls anymore. Now I'm going to go button down. I'm going to change up my beard a little bit. And I'm going to go in there.
Look, they don't have pictures. They don't have pictures. They don't have pictures of nobody waiting at the entrance for this.
Yeah, and then you turn around, you can't profile me. I go to the stadium, let's say I finally have a day off. Oh, I'm not complaining. But let's say I finally have a day off, Vinny. Finally had a day off. I say, I'm going to use my day off.
You had one last week.
Okay, all right, stop counting. Now stop counting my off days. Now I don't count yours. Let's count my off days here. And I go to the stadium, and they're like, no, you were the one who was cussing somebody out. Like, no, I wasn't. I may look like that person. Like, you can't do it. So Draymond is absolutely right. Fan gets your attention because that's what they're trying to do when they at you. That's what they're trying to do when they're sitting courtside. And some people take it too far. They feel like their whole mission of coming to the game is just to get that just to have somebody glare at them or cuss them out. And you're sitting there as a fan, you don't want all this. I just came to watch the Warriors and the Bucks. I think that's more entertaining than listening to you. I never heard of you. Your material's I don't want to hear it for the whole game. Maybe a line or two. And so it's more problematic for NBA players because they do get a fine when they respond. There is something coming from the league because the league, this progressive league that we always give them credit, the league is stuck in 1955, Benny, to go back to your baseball example. The league is stuck because they're going with the customer's always right. Well, we can't do this. It's not good for business. Well, I'll tell you what's not good for business is to have somebody in your crowds, several persons in your crowds across North America doing this kind of stuff. It really ruins the fan experience, I think. I think you should allow players to respond within reason. Now, if a player is really getting out of pocket and just kind of dives in on a fan, yeah, but I think it should be case by case. But most of the time, automatically, if you go at a fan, you cuss them out, you're going to get a fine. And I think it's the advantage. The advantage goes to the person who tried to start it in the first place.
I don't trip too much on players replying. I really don't. I don't. Look, there's a phrase. I believe it was in the Jay-Z lyric. Don't bark up that tree will fall on you. In my professional life, I have definitely lived that way on Twitter. If someone has barked up my tree, I reply in kind. I don't do it as much. I have to be more professional in my older age. You know what I mean? It's not always worth it. But you don't find. I don't think you find the players like. Remember LeBron was getting heckled last year in Indianapolis, and someone said something about maybe assaulting his son or something like that, and LeBron went and pointed him out and got him up out of there. Yeah. Get that dude up out of there. I've also been in situations where I've seen fans heckle a player and it was funny. Yeah. I've seen situations where fans heckle a player and it was funny, or fans heckle a player and the player thought it was funny. There was once post Malice at the Palace, Steven Jackson was playing for the Milwaukee Bucks, and a fan decided to make a couple of cracks about the Malice at the Palace with Steven Jackson during the stoppage in play. And you know what Steven Jackson did? Like the rest of everybody else on press row? He laughed. Because whatever was said was actually really funny. It was freaking hilarious.
Okay,
it was funny.
Well, listen, I'm good with that. Okay, that's fun. Okay, that's fine. But, ultimately, it's going to get to the point where...
Threats, no. You can't have that.
Yeah, threats. I wonder what the NBA will say. I know the NBA will say something, but we'll see. We'll see if it will lead to anything larger or if it's just
you can see it on the TNT Overtime app. I'm sure the NBA won't have it up anymore, but in real time, you could see Draymond Green turning to him during a spot stoppage and play and saying, "You're giving me a pass? Give me a pass for what? Giving me a pass for what?" And I'm like, what is he talking about? And then a few minutes later, the fan is throwing on that he answers the question in the media. So whatever the guy said something about, maybe he said something along the lines of, if I could piece it together, saying something about threatening his life, but said, but I'm going to give you a pass. And then Draymond responds back, give you a pass for what? And that's how a guy like that gets ejected. Why would you pay all that money to get ejected? That's my problem. You paying $3-4 grand for some courtside seats?
Nah, I probably didn't pay for them. Or got some hookup or whatever, or money to burn. I don't know what it is. But hey, people are turned on by all sorts of things. Now, as the music comes on, I'm just going to tell you this. Speaking of pass, you think I'm just going to let it pass that you're sitting here wearing Detroit Lions blue today?
This is not Detroit Lions blue.
Yes, it is. That is Detroit Lions blue.
The Lions blue is a dull blue. This blue is popping. This is Penny Hardaway blue. Get your blues correct.
You just try to make, you made that
Recognize
up.
the shoes. Recognize the shoes behind me. Penny Hardaway blue.
I see it.
Okay?
They're 6 and 7. They're on the rise. They're ascending. The Detroit Lions, if they make the playoffs after a 1-6 start, they'll be the first team in 52 years to do that. Why do I know that? Because the last team to do it happened the year I was born. Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.